Okay, so we're talking more about what's happening in Louisiana. So now, this is the third time it's hit land, right?
Yeah, if you count Mexico, because it was a tropical storm when it went over the Yucatan, and then it completely dissipated, but it still had the center of circulation, so as it crossed over into the Gulf of Mexico, it became a named storm again. And that's when we started to track it, and it became this incredible monster of a hurricane. You know, we were talking about this morning, I remember this with Katrina, which made landfall as of yesterday, 12 years ago. And the focus was on New Orleans. Of course it was on New Orleans, because New Orleans was the bullseye where they would possibly take the most water and the levees and all that. But I remember afterwards all of these small towns in Louisiana towards Mississippi and even Alabama that were wiped off the map. Like, you drive that Gulf Coast from Louisiana, even Southeast Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, all of these coastal towns are no longer there, right? So what I'm remembering is that now we're seeing these tweets out of Beaumont and Orange and Port Arthur, Texas, and Southeast Texas, places that got over 24 inches in 24 hours last night. They are completely underwater, and I know that the focus is on Houston. There's 6 million people there. It's the 4th biggest city. But all of these small towns that are submerged, that are underwater, are not getting the attention that they deserve right now. And that's going to be ongoing into Louisiana as well, because the storm is not done yet. And also, starting now, we're going to be talking about this new storm coming off the coast of Africa that has the potential to be a major hurricane by Labor Day, and we need to watch the East Coast. We even need to watch the Gulf of Mexico. So the bottom line is the National Hurricane Center has predicted this is going to be a very busy season. It just takes one storm to make it one of the worst seasons we've ever seen. We've just seen that now. But my message is, you know, we're going to have to continue to watch these waves and these areas of low pressure that could develop, because we are into peak season right now.
You've talked the last couple of days about how difficult it is as a meteorologist when you see the impact this is going to have to give that news, to warn people you're going to see 50 inches of rain. How difficult is it then, after they've seen this, to say, now we're tracking another one? Not that it's directly going in that path, but still.
It's what we have to do as meteorologists. We're, you know, obviously our focus is on what's happening now with Louisiana, Southeast Texas, now moving into the Mississippi River Valley, Tennessee, Kentucky. Obviously focus here, but we have another storm that could potentially affect the East Coast in the next 7 to 10 days that could be also potentially devastating. So, I mean, it's just, don't let your guard down. This is going to be one of those years. I was here during the year of Katrina, which was 2005. We went to the Greek alphabet. We had run out of names. And it feels like this could be one of those seasons.
And even over the course of the show, it became clear that it was shifting. And just watching in that last hour how you responded to the fact that these small towns were being hit, social media is lighting up. It's one thing to be a student of the weather and weather patterns as you are. It's a whole other thing to care about people. And you've seen so many of these, you understand what it does.
Oh, I mean, the pit of your stomach when you see the potential, like the potential of 50 inches, you can't wrap your head around it. And there's no way you can escape from 50 inches of rainfall. And we're just reminded that there are these small towns that don't have the money, they don't have the support of a Houston, Texas, that are now going to be devastated. It's a helpless feeling. I mean, I just hope we can warn as many people.
If there's any silver lining, I remember there was a storm that went through South Carolina when I was growing up, Hugo, and one of the beaches in particular, it wasn't one of the nicest beaches. I mean, it was like fun to go to because it was old beach houses, but they rebuilt, and they rebuilt massive, gorgeous homes, and these families that lived in tiny houses that were close to the beach or either on the beach, they were able to rebuild huge, nice houses and sell those houses for millions of dollars. So it did end up being, and you drive down that street next to the beach that runs parallel to the ocean, and these houses are gorgeous, and it really changed the look of that beach. So there was a silver lining in that. You have to find those silver linings if you can. I mean, it might be too early to talk about that.
Right now we have to focus on the support and the money that we can funnel into these areas to help these people who, you know, normally would not be able to afford another home.
I know.
Yeah, well, keep up the great work. We know how hard you're working, and we appreciate all of you being with us today.
Yeah, we do. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow, Thursday.